Hi, my name is Ryan Tips, and I'm the managing editor for ActionHub.com. Today I'm going to talk to you a little bit about the Phoozy thermal capsule. This is the XP-3 series, and what this is a device, a sleeve of sorts that you can slide your smartphone in, and it will help protect it from extreme heat, from extreme cold, so that you can kind of save your battery life. It doesn't shut off, and it's a device that ideally would be great for taking to the beach, for taking on a ski trip, something where you don't really want to risk your phone being subjected to extreme temperatures and risk damaging it or losing too much battery life. Now the Phoozy is billed as being built out of a similar technology as spacesuits are, and so it's, as I say, it's tested in space and proven on Earth. And we're going to get it out of its package here a little bit and drop it in some water and play around with it just a little bit, and we'll kind of see how well it holds up. Now, it says that the high temperature that it protects against is 200 degrees Fahrenheit, and the low is negative 20 degrees Fahrenheit. And of course, in the colder weathers, your biggest concern is going to be battery drain, and keeping it from hitting that extreme cold, even if you're out in very cold temperatures. Any little bit of protection helps. On the flip side, everyone knows who has had their cell phone in some pretty hot weather is that the phone can overheat. It can just shut off entirely. And of course, when that happens, it's not good for the phone, and it's of no real use to you when that happens. It is also built with the idea that it has some flotation capabilities as well as some drop protection capabilities. And so we're going to kind of see how that works. This is the XL model. They also have a large size. My regular phone that I got this for is a Samsung S9 Plus, so it's definitely a larger size phone. But the phone that I have right here that I'm really going to put into the case, since I'm using my Samsung phone to record with, I'm going to put one of my older HTC phones in there, and we're going to turn it on too, so that we can kind of see how some of the drop protection, how some of the flotation possibilities, how all that really works with a phone that's on, and whether it does work whether it keeps the phone working. So let's get this out of the package, take a look at it a little bit closer. And this is the first time I've ever gotten it out. So it does have a little bit of a space age feel to it. Right here you're going to see tabs, and the idea of these tabs are that even if you're wearing gloves, you can still open it up pretty easily. You heard the Velcro. It's got a Velcro seal on it, and while it definitely has spot for the main phone, your big pouch here, it's got a smaller pouch here on the side that is perfect for credit cards, and that too has a little bit of a Velcro that will keep it cinched shut. Now the idea behind this is that it's definitely going to be big enough for you to keep your cell phone case on your phone and still allow it all to fit in here pretty easily. Now I did take the case off of my old HTC phone that I have here, because I wanted to see what it really did when we did just a slight drop test on it, and just to see if it was still on. I didn't want the case to kind of give a sort of false positive. As you can see, it's the thermal capsule XP-3. The idea behind this too is that if you do leave it out on the sun, if you go surfing, if you're going jet skiing or anything else, getting out to Sea-Doo, and you have to leave it somewhere, or leave it in the sun, or leave it on your beach towel, or whatever you're doing, it's supposed to reflect 90% of the sun's solar radiation. So that's obviously not something that we can actually test right now, but it's a good feature to have, a good feature to know about. This particular Phoozy which as you can tell is probably a combination of phone and koozie, which is where they get the name from. This particular model is runs about $50 when it's not on sale. I have seen it on sale on Phoozy's website. There are other models of this. Their Apollo was the first one that came out, and they have an Apollo 2. Those are more in the $30 to $35 retail range. So this is definitely their higher end model. The others, I believe they still come with the tabs, but I don't think that they come with this with the added pocket inside here. And I don't know if there's any sizing differences either. Another thing I want to mention is that it does have additional straps. And that's something that's unique to this particular model. The Apollo versions do not have any of those extra straps for you to latch this onto the outside of a pack or whatever you might take it on if you go on a hike or whatnot. With the drop protection that this supposedly has, it's supposed to be able to be dropped from about 9 feet, 3 meters up, and basically not damage your phone. The packaging claims that it is military tested, but you know, right now this is only about 2 or 3 feet high. I'm intentionally trying to drop it on the corners. Like I said, you saw me turn on the phone when we got started. Obviously, that's not very high up, but there's not going to be any. Can't really see the screen here, but there's no damage or anything to it just from doing a little drops, and it certainly could crack the screen or anything if I do drop it without any sort of protection on it at all. Now I'm going to slide over a bucket. And part of the billing with this is that it has some flotation properties. And while it's not intended to be completely waterproof, it is intended to be water resistant, and of course the Velcro will help keep out some of the water. A lot of modern phones are going to be you know, a good bit water resistant, have some good water resistance capabilities to them. So, you know, a little bit here, a little bit there, and hopefully it'll keep your phone you know, safe overall, especially if you're out on a boat or anything like that and you drop this in the water. You know, you can ideally you can retrieve it. So there you go. So when it hits the water, instead of floating upward like this, it always wants to lay flat. And hopefully we can see that it has a little bit of water. It might have been just from me pulling it out. But it definitely, you can't really see it real well. The screen isn't really popping on, but it is, I mean, the screen is on. You just can't see, it's overall too dark, so you can't really see it very well. But with today's phones, it will keep it dry enough to make it functional. So while there is the XP-3 is one of their higher end models, they also have the same sort of Phoozy product that's available for Apple products, for tablets, for even Chromebook size. So there's a lot of different things that if you do end up liking the Phoozy, you can definitely you know, get it available for a bunch of different devices that you might own. So this has been my look at the Phoozy Thermal Capsule XP-3. This was an uncut video, unsponsored, unfiltered, and I hope you like what you saw.